Hey everybody, welcome to this Friday night version of the lounge. How's everybody doing tonight? Make sure you put a comment in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Let us know you're here. Say hi, see what's going on. Tonight's show is going to be very, very interesting. I hope you guys all know if you're feeling like the world is slowing down, feeling like there's glitches going on, feeling like you got some technical issues, feeling like you're annoyed by people canceling appointments, canceling plans, you don't know what's going on. Well, congratulations. We are in the shadow of our lovely Mercury retrograde cycle that starts on the 29th of May. Are you guys excited? I know I am. We have 5 planets in air sign of Gemini. In air signs, which means that if you are an air sign, if you're a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, all that airiness that you experience will probably be into a whole other level. Coach JXP, he's right here. He's right here. He's coming back on, one of our former guests. He's asking, dates not happening. Is this part of the Mercury retrograde too? Coach JXP, let me just tell you, you don't want to be getting into a new relationship in the Mercury retrograde, especially with the empath that you are. You want to be. So I would say, if you can connect with somebody from your past and reconnect with an old flame, that might work better than a new one. So, Neil, how you doing, Neil? Thought you'd tune in and vibe check. Thanks for tuning in to vibe check. I guess this is our lovely antique medium's other half here. So this is going to be an awesome show. We just had another guest pop in our green room area, and none other than, you know what? If you're intuitive, I'm going to put this out in the chat. If you are intuitive, we're going to test your psychic ability right now. Who do you think is backstage that wasn't planning on coming on the show? One of our former lounge buddies. I'm not going to tell you who, but if you want to trust your intuition and you want to make me impressed, then I want you to take a guess. All right. So let me just say hi to everybody here. Lori, how you doing? Good to see you. Lori Matthews, good evening. Maria, looking forward to the lounge. Hi, Neil. Great. We're all here. So I'm just excited because tonight's show is very interesting. It's not something that's traditional, but I always like to talk to people that have a different vibe, a different auric field, because people with different auric fields usually attract different things in life. Like we all kind of want to, make it to our, somebody's making me laugh in the chat. No, it's not bathroom Bernie, Alex Wyman. It is not bathroom Bernie. No, your intuition and your psychic ability is usually pretty spot on, but tonight, not bathroom Bernie. Anyone else with the guess, I'll take it. So, see, with the Mercury retrograde, the shadow of the retrograde in place, I forgot what I was saying because I got distracted by my laughter here. So, anyway, yes, the auric field. So if you ever look at people, and this person that's coming on tonight, he has experience with what I call the golden auric field. Okay, I noticed the little stars around him. He has like the silver lining around his aura. Most people that are A-list celebrities, people like Tom Cruise, Madonna, Michael Jackson, they have a certain golden glow on their aura that actually magnetizes out. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that or ever seen it, but there's a certain auric field that they emanate. Sometimes they're born with it, sometimes it's integrated in their energy field. But Todd Newton has experience with this. He is coming on tonight. He is a game show host with the most, and that's a registered trademark, by the way. Nobody else can use it but Todd. He is an author. He has hosted a lot of game shows, where Price is Right Live, which I went to. I didn't even realize I saw Todd on the stage. Bing, 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 bing. Oh my goodness, Ani M. You need to come into the intuitive development class next because you are correct. The seductress is with us tonight. Maria, you are correct. You guys are in the Dream Driver program. It's time for you guys to switch over to the intuitive development class that I'm going to be doing next. So without further ado, I want to bring on my co-host. I know you guys are bummed because Elise has been gone 2 weeks in a row, but who better to bring on another medium, which is Antique, Debbie Carey.
Hello. I'm the
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Great to be here again. Second week in a row. I said I'm like pinching myself. I'm so excited.
Well, you're pinching yourself, and I'm just like looking at you. I'm so excited that you're here. Everybody wants to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Okay.
Your name's Debbie, but that's not what it says.
No.
It doesn't say Debbie. It says antique, and you're not really that old, so you're not really an old medium.
No, I don't know about that, but yeah. No, well, this little special moniker came from yours truly, Marisa.
I gave her this name, but I don't remember it. I don't remember giving you the name. No recollection.
I would not call myself an antique.
Okay, that's good. So what happened? I mean, I even forgot when I was telling Todd backstage how we met. I forgot, like, I just blanked out on like 5 years of my life. So how did we meet? You know, we met at a gallery. I did some galleries at your house.
We met at a gallery. You came to my house, and we did a gallery in the winter, and it was just my mother and I, because everybody else decided to cancel, but you showed up, and you did a reading. And
Right. It was just you.
My mom. So
her mom.
Yes.
Right.
So
Yes.
You left, and you were like, I feel like we could have fun hanging out. And I was like, I think so too. I mean, like, I know I'm a lot of fun. So somehow we started hanging out. I did your first show on the relationship coaching, and then went through the intuitive development and just learned that we had the same crazy sense of humor and personality. And here we are 15 years later, hanging out in the lounge with the lounge music.
With the lounge bed. And you know what? Now the antique medium isn't up for grabs. Okay. In the chat, I'm going to let you guys know she is back. She's opening up her mediumship abilities again. And in some time, we're going to be working together on getting her back up to speed. I mean, her abilities are beyond a lot of people, what I've seen. I know that the woman is right on, but she's got to get her car in order. She's got to get the new car all jazzed up, waxed up, so she's a little, she's got to get her. So just give her some time. I know all you guys want readings, but you got to give her some time to get up to speed. But tonight we're gonna put that car in drive. And if she's picking up anything in the chat, she's going to let you know. If somebody has a question, please ask. We can tune into that for you. But before we do that, I don't know. The antique medium. So we didn't talk about why we call you the antique medium. It never got to that.
No.
So why are you?
Because everybody in class would be, reading, and they'd be like, I feel like I'm getting somebody who was choking. And somebody else would be like, I feel like I'm getting somebody with this really heavy energy. And I'd be sitting there like, I'm getting somebody's grandmom. I'm getting cookie. Remember, I used to get food because I'd read when I was hungry. And so I'd always be like, I'm getting cake and getting cookies. But it was always a feel-good message. And you were like, oh, man, you like that. And I brought my antique clock in because we had to bring it in older. You're like the antique medium. And I said, okay, well, I guess it'll stick. And, usually I think it's just because I'm so happy and like blah, blah, blah all the time, bubbly. And it was just a happy feel. But that's what I remember.
Yeah. And you know what? Just a medium fact FAQ for all you guys in the chat. We mediums really shouldn't eat much, but we don't eat really, a lot of us, before we read, because if we read and we're digesting a big old steak, we're not going to be able to talk to your relatives on the other side. And yes, we do have a sense of humor. So, we take on people's personalities. If you really want us to get into like a trance where we take on your grandmother's, like beating you over the head with a rolling pin, or we're yelling at you like this, or we're getting the personality, we can't be eating lots of food before we start. So Debbie obviously is hungry when she's reading. She's thinking of food. So she's back, man. She's gonna come visit me tomorrow in person, and we're gonna start on the journey again. And I'm just gonna start.
But we're gonna eat.
We're gonna eat. Yeah. We're not gonna read and eat. We're gonna eat and read.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, because all the times I'm with you, I'm hungry. So now we're gonna eat.
I don't know what that's about. I make people hungry for some reason.
I don't know.
I do. It's maybe because I put people at ease.
Possibly.
I stimulate their salivary glands.
I can't say that's a personal experience. I just know that usually when I'm in classes and we're reading and I was always hungry, I was like, God damn it, this class is tough because I'm hungry.
Exactly. Oh, this is your other half saying the Italian in her comes out eating. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Debbie, I didn't realize you're Italian, but yeah, so am I. That's probably what it is.
God,
Us with the Mediterranean blood. It's the Mediterranean blood. We all have this ability.
See, well, my mom is so dark and my dad is so pale. So my grandma would get these pale babies and be like, holy crap, they got to eat more. We'd be like, Granny, our eyes are sweating. Like, we cannot eat anymore. Nope, you can eat. You can take another bite. So now I guess that you could eat. So, yeah.
All right. Well, the antique medium's gonna her antenna is like coming up, like the old school 80s antennas on the TVs. It's coming up a little bit. Just don't harass her, okay? Be nice. Let her ease back into this world, to the other world, and just we're gonna ease in. I will let you know when the doors are open fully. Because I'm gonna be monitoring her. I'm gonna be monitoring her and controlling her to make sure she's protected.
You also told me last week that my glasses put a reflection out. So even if they wanted to harass me, I could barely see the chat. So you might have to wait for me. But I do want to say hi to Rosemary. I know Rosemary's joined in on, which is great. Hi to
Rosemary.
Chat. Yeah. So, but yeah, I could barely see it. So if there's anything good popping up, let me know.
All right. Well, there is something good popping up if we want to go to that direction. The seductress is popping up. Hi, seductress.
Hi, Marissa. Can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Hi there. Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is usually who we have substitute for Elise, the seductress. She started as a lounge buddy. She's a seductress. She lives in a haunted church. Mm-hmm. For those of you who don't know her, she is an architect and a medium, and she has relatives in Lilydale, New York, land of the mediums. So she has her actual relatives live there.
That's true.
And
that's cool.
She bought a church that was haunted, and as an architect, she renovated it. And she still has a lot of spirits that live there with her during the week when she's architecting.
They're nice.
Right. They're nice.
So far.
Some of them, yeah.
Yes.
The little girl, she's kind of a little, could be nice sometimes.
With the pink jacket.
So seductress, I know you're going through some rough times. I'm glad you came on.
Thank you.
That's why I had to pull the antique medium, because I didn't think you'd be up for hosting. But I'm so glad that you said you were coming on the show.
Yeah, if I were hosting, I was just out on a walk. I had to run through the door and log in. I mean, tardy today.
That's okay. Seductress, you seduce whoever you want on that run. Okay.
That's right.
It makes you feel better. All right. So, I can't have us all on here right now. I just wanted to say hi, seductress. We're going to be bringing you back on in a bit.
Hi.
And think about your questions for our host, because I think you might have some. Okay. Or our antique medium. Either one. We got a lot of mediums here. A lot of mediums in there.
Perfect.
All right. We'll be right back with you. Antique, are you ready for the big guy?
Yeah, we're going to let the mediums out at large.
Okay.
15 minutes for that one.
All right. Well, I want to talk about who's coming on tonight. And I told him, I said, I was on this site and I said, I came across your profile. I have no idea why I was drawn to have you on the show, but I think you're interesting. I want to have you on the show. Wherever it leads, it leads. You don't ever know where it's going to lead. So I go with my intuition. He wasn't really interested in other people's podcasts, but he's like, I haven't talked to mediums before. Might as well come on their show. So he's going to come on and let me tell you about, this is awesome. Todd is an Emmy Award-winning personality, author, and virtual host. Todd Newton. He's daytime Emmy Award-winning. Messed that up. Todd Newton is known to millions of viewers across North America for being an all-access pass to Hollywood's most star-studded events on entertainment television. Game show fans know Todd for awarding contestants more than $50 million in cash and prizes on shows such as FamilyGameNight, Whammy, I loved that show, Monopoly, Millionaires'Club, and The Price is Right Live. That's awesome, too. I actually went to one of those. And Todd is also the author of multiple books. If you go to his website, Todd Newton Online, you will see all of his books. But the one that we're going to be talking about tonight is going to be Life in the Bonus Round, which was named Best Autobiography at the prestigious Beverly Hills Book Awards. His follow-up project, The Choice is Yours, 6 Keys for Putting Your Best into Action. I'm interested in what those 6 keys are. Serves as the foundation for his popular keynote presentation, which he delivers to dozens of corporations, charities, and colleges annually. Let's welcome Todd Newton.
Hey.
How are you?
You're absolutely right. I have never been surrounded by so many mediums in one virtual room. It's very nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
You know what? The fact that there are 3 surrounding you and many in the chat, I can't say that something's not going to happen for you tonight, Todd.
Well, listen, I'm open to it. You know, if anything, if you see anything happening around me, you be sure and let me know. I don't have the vision you guys have, so I'm leaving that to you.
And the price will be right tonight for you. So we're going to ask the spirits to come on down and give you a message.
That's
right.
great. I can't wait to tell our crew that. A medium said she's going to ask the spirits to come on down.
I had to do it, even though it was like a cheesy joke. I felt the end. It came to me. I had to do it. So Todd, you have been around some of Hollywood's biggest stars, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Like their auric field, their aura, their energy. It's very different from just like regular people that aren't in that high of a celebrity status, correct? Would you say so?
Yes, I would say so from the point of view that doesn't have the gift that you have. You know, as someone who can't see the things that you see or feel the things that that you and many of the folks in your chat room feel. But yeah, I think I always categorized it as that it factor. You know, you can certainly sense when someone like a Kevin Costner or a Michael Jordan walks in a room. There's an energy that they have, and there's an energy that's created by the people that are already there. That
right.
And it's just, you know, it's just a buzz. It's a rush when these people enter. So to be able to spend 13 years at E! Entertainment Television, like I was so fortunate enough to do, and to be on the red carpet for things like movie premieres and the award shows, and meet people like the aforementioned folks on nights when maybe they're a little nervous too. You know, if they're nominated for an Oscar, you know, they're not going to be their usual, you know, confident selves. That's a very big night for them. So it was really cool. And I was there at a perfect time in my career when I didn't have a whole lot of TV experience. So to be able to be on that network and been thrown in the deep end, and forced to swim, and I thought I swam pretty well for those years. So it was really a nice experience, and I look back on those years very fondly.
Yeah, how did you, when you say you got thrown into this, you weren't prepared to like be thrown into this world? Like you were going in a different direction, all of a sudden you had a big break, or what happened?
No, that's not what that was all I ever wanted. I mean, I grew up watching two men, Bob Barker in the daytime and Johnny Carson at night. You know, those were the guys. And from as far back as I can remember, 12, 13 years of age, I just wanted to do what they were doing. In my eyes, they were entertaining people by just being themselves. Bob Barker was, you know, my grandmother never missed an episode of The Price is Right. And at night, my father would watch Johnny Carson, and I can remember my dad laughing in a way that he didn't normally laugh during the day. You know, Johnny just did something. And both of those guys seemed like men who every woman wanted to be around and every guy wanted to buy a drink for. That's how I looked at both of those guys. And later on, I was very fortunate to be able to be mentored by Bob Barker when I really kind of lasered in on hosting game shows, when I really channeled all my energies towards that. 1999-ish, My first game show was a show called Hollywood Showdown, and I just fell in love with it. You know, it was live, it was loud, it was bright. I was giving people money. What's not to love, you know? And from then on, it was just all about game shows for me.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I actually have a course called The Dream Driver where I help people kind of manifest their dreams. And I'm kind of wondering what your story is. You grew up wanting this. A lot of us grew up wanting something like this. Mm-hmm. How did you go from just wanting something like this and instead of going down the default path that most people go to because their parents or society wants them to go down another road? How did you actually not only follow your dream, but move through the rejection that this industry sometimes leads you toward? How did you actually make it happen? How did you actually manifest this for yourself?
I started my career in radio. I always wanted to be on the radio. I used to, as every kid, that's what we didn't have. You know, there was no iTunes. There was no Apple Music. You know, we listened to FM radio, and I was always kind of jazzed by the guys that came on in between the songs. I liked the energy they created. This was before you could listen to the radio and not have to suffer through 15, 16 minutes, an hour of commercials. You know, you could actually really enjoy it. You could listen for hours at a time, and we would make the mixtapes on our boom boxes and stuff. You know, it was cool. So I wanted to be one of those voices on the radio. And growing up in St. Louis, that was a great radio market in the 70s and 80s. Really great. We had a lot of great rock and roll radio stations there. And I started off interning. I just knocked on doors. I'm like, listen, do you need me to alphabetize your CDs or cassettes or what do you need me to do? And you know, if you look long and hard enough, it's not hard to find somebody that will hire you if they don't have to pay you. And eventually I found one of those radio stations. And I think success many times comes to those who hang on the longest. And I, was an intern working for free for as long as it took. And eventually I got a part-time job just kind of running the controls, no talking. But then the no talking thing didn't work for me. So I started talking, and rather than fire me, they agreed to put me on the air overnight. And, I just I learned through osmosis. You know, there were a lot of great DJs on the air, and I learned from them, and they worked with me. And when I felt like I kind of hit the ceiling, then I kind of wanted to be on TV. I wanted some of that action. So I did television locally, again, volunteering to do stuff for one of the local stations. And then eventually they sent me to California, to Los Angeles, to do some interviews. And I took the one VHS tape of my TV work that I had. I only had one. And as soon as I was in Los Angeles, I hopped in a taxi and I went to the MTV studios, because to me, that was a natural evolution to go from radio to VJ, And I remember I walked in, I was 24 years old. I asked the receptionist who I spoke to about becoming a VJ. And she told me, it's funny now, but at the time she just told me to have a seat. And about 10 minutes later, a gentleman by the name of Kurt Sharp, who's now over at NBC, came out. He doesn't remember this, but I remind him every time I see him. Came out and took me in his office and popped in my tape. And he said, well, you're pretty good, but you need some representation. Well, I didn't know what that meant. So he picked up the phone and he called 3 agents. One of them said, well, send me his tape. And I said, no, I only have one. I can't. The second one said, I'm not interested. And the third one said, I just had a lunch meeting canceled. If he can come over now, I'll meet with him.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had $50 that the television station gave me to eat. And I used it for another taxi. And I went over and she signed me. And a few months later, we were doing a pilot for Maury Povich, which did not get picked up. And
oh my God.
E jumped in at the time and made me a wonderful offer, and of course I took it, and that led to 13 years. So it's a true Hollywood story, and I do realize how lucky I was. I know that can't happen now, and but it changed the course of changed the course of my life. You know, that guy, Kurt Sharp, that receptionist at MTV, you never do anything significant alone. There are always people playing other roles, some of them large, some of them small, but they all add up to where you end up.
Yeah. Well, see, that from all the stories I hear from the people I know in this industry, it is like, 10, 20 years of hell before they break through. You seem like you were so focused with your intentions. You took the action. You didn't know where it was going to lead. And that's what I teach with manifestation. You take the action and the universe refines it. As long as you're in alignment, those events will line up. And you seem to be hyper-focused, razor sharp. You took action. You weren't afraid to take action. You weren't afraid to take risks. You didn't know it, you didn't have a guarantee of point A to point B. You just honed in the energy and everything lined up in the universe, like everything very quickly.
Yeah. Well, yes. And part of it, listen, was being a naive 23, 24-year-old too. There's a certain value in having the freedom to take risks and not caring about repercussions. And we lose that the older we get. Because life comes in and self-consciousness and all these different things. But my grandmother always said there is no greater sin than being forgettable. And what she meant by that, and what I mean by it when I pass it on to my kids or when I talk about it, are two different things. But what she meant by it was, you got to be nice. You got to be if you can, be the one person in somebody's life that does something for them that they never forget, and she didn't mean that in an egotistical way. She meant it in just give somebody a hand, give somebody a hand that makes them want to give someone else a hand in turn. And what I mean by it is, speak a little louder, go a little further than a lot of people think is reasonable or logical, but never ever be forgotten. The people that sit in the corner and never speak their mind or never stand up for anything, they're the ones who are forgotten. And I don't want to be that. And, this career is perfect for that, because, especially now, because everything we do lives forever on YouTube. So we'll never be forgotten. But I just believe in, I don't want that many things in my life. There aren't that many things that have ever come along that I have really been passionate about. So when they do, something inside me says, step up and go for it.
Yeah. I mean, how did you go from doing what you were doing to going into the game show industry? Because that's such a big change from where you started out. Well,
the same agent, 13 years later. I was on a shoot for E! Entertainment in Barcelona, Spain. And I was going to stay over there for a couple of days after our shoot because I'd never been to Spain. And it wasn't 13 years later. I'm sorry. It was only 5 or 6 years later. But she called my hotel room. This was before cell phones, smartphones. This is when, you would come back to your hotel room and there'd be a blinking red light, and you would call down to the front desk. And she asked me to call. So I had to get out my calling card that had about 38 digits on it that you had to enter to make a long distance phone call internationally. And she said, listen, I think you should come back early. There's an audition I don't want you to miss. And it was for that game show, Hollywood Showdown. And the producer is just wonderful. And he's still a friend. And he and I still work on projects together. But he's been around quite a while. And she thought it would be worth skipping a couple of days in Barcelona to come back for. And I'm glad I did, because he and I hit it off. And I was right for that show. And you mentioned rejection at the time. I never see anything as rejection, but there have been a million things I have not been right for. I've been too young, too old, too tall, too short, too many tattoos, whatever the case may be. But for this one, I was what he was looking for. And it changed everything. Game shows are just spectacular. It's like being Santa Claus 365 days a year.
Yeah.
And And, you know, one of the things that Bob Barker taught me was, you know, they're the only real form of reality television out there. For the most game shows are unscripted. A lot of them now, not so much. But, you know, when you get a real contestant up there, someone, you know, for instance, I think of this woman named Betty from Butte, Montana, who had never been on an airplane before. And she had just retired from the post office. She had never taken a vacation, nothing that where she left Montana, you know. And Bob Barker always taught me to ask, because everybody has a story. And had I not asked, I just would have said, okay, Betty, you can win this trip to Las Vegas. But through the questions we asked, we learned that Betty has 14 grandkids. Everything Betty does is for the grandkids. So they have great Christmases, or so they have great birthdays. She's never done anything for herself. Well, through asking questions, we were all behind her now, this entire audience, all the viewers, and she won. And all 14 of the grandkids came running up on stage, and the hugs and the kiss. I mean, that's real. The Kardashians, not real, but Betty, Anna, and that's what I love being a part of. And with The Price is Right Live, we get to travel the country, and you've seen the show. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and there's nothing staged about it. Everybody is chosen at random, and I don't know who the next person to come up on stage is going to be, but I ask those questions, and we find out. You know, and that's what makes game shows so magical for me.
Is Bob Barker like really as nice as he is like on TV? Was he really that nice of a guy? And was he is what you saw on television for all those years is exactly who that man is. And I haven't spoken to him since the pandemic. But I will tell you that the last time we had lunch 2 years ago, 26 months ago, you know, Bob is old school. There's no email. There's no text message. It's all telephone. And when you have lunch plans with Bob Barker, you will get a voicemail that says, Marisa, it's Bob. I am confirming our 1 p.m. lunch on Saturday, the 22nd of May, at such and such a restaurant located at, and so he reminds you of the lunch as if he's explaining a game, and there is absolutely no chance that you're going to show up at the wrong place at the wrong time, you know. But yes, I mean, everything you hope Bob Barker is and that you grew up believing him to be, he is. Did you ever meet Johnny Carson?
I did not ever meet Johnny Carson.
Okay.
No. And which is probably just as well, because, you know, they say you should never meet your idols. And I took a big risk with Bob. And luckily, I won that one. I would not have wanted to press my luck twice, you know. That would have been a horrible letdown had that meeting not gone the way I hoped it would.
And that was a great game show, too, Press Your Luck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a great game show.
This is Bruno, by the way. I never go anywhere without Bruno.
Why do they say that you shouldn't meet your idols? What's that about?
Well, because, you know, you grow up, you know, idolizing someone or hoping that they're a certain way, imagining them to be a certain way. And when you meet them, if they're not that way, even if just for that moment, because let's face it, we never know what kind of day someone is having. We never know what's going on in someone's life, you know? And if we catch them at an off moment, it could be really devastating. It could crush your childhood dreams, you know? So a lot of people say it's best just not to. You know, I wasn't going to pass up the opportunity to meet Bob, though.
We have one of our Coach JXP says, "Hey Todd, have you met Betty White? Just curious. I heard she loves game shows." Yes,
Coach, I have. And so the guy that hired me for the show Hollywood Showdown was a guy named Sandy Stewart, and his father Bob Stewart was actually the creator of The Price is Right and password and to tell the truth. And
Tell the truth.
and
Oh my
you know,
God.
Betty's former husband, is it Burt London? Oh, the name escaped, but he was a game show host who worked for Bob Stewart. So at Sandy's, I hope somebody looks that up. Betty White's husband, who was a game show host, but she used to show up at all of Sandy's Christmas parties, and I actually have a picture of her holding my son when my son was just a baby. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Betty's one of a kind.
So when you were doing stuff on the red carpet, I'm just curious, like, is there just
Alan Ludden. Yes, thank you.
Alan Ludden.
You're right. Yes, thank you.
Is that like mostly fake? Like, are people like smiling and everything, and then when they're off camera, like, is it a real, like, non-authentic kind of event where the energy is just like really shallow, or is it like really that exciting?
No,
are people really that nice?
It's very exciting. And you know, back in the mid 90s when I started at E, there were only a handful of us on the red carpet. So it wasn't the madhouse that it is now. You know, now just about anybody can get a media credential. You may not be up front and people may not choose to speak to you, but you know, back in the 90s, it was us, it was Entertainment Tonight, it was Access Hollywood and Extra, and that was pretty much it. Maybe CNN, you know. So we would get nice long interviews, and of course they're going to say what they're going to say. You know, they're going to talk about how great it is just to be nominated and what a pleasure it was to work with this director. But if you can, you know, again with the questions, if you ask enough, you'll get something. And because they're people too, you know, and a lot of them are. There's a big difference between, you know, reading lines and acting and being a star at that craft than and being just who you are, knowing that millions of people are looking at the actual you. I guess I can't act my way out of a paper bag, so I don't. I did one guest spot on that show, Charmed, and that was enough for me. That was it. I saw myself and I said, nope, no. We'll stick to giving away toaster ovens.
Yeah. So you're saying that the game show part of your life was more fulfilling than doing red carpet, or just different experiences? Different.
Well, yeah, more fulfilling. I mean, I nothing against the red carpet stuff, but the game show stuff, I was I still am madly in love with. You know, game shows put my kids through school. Game shows bought me a house. You know, game shows are my love. I mean, there's nothing that comes close to it.
And now you're also an author of many books. Did you want to talk about your current projects?
Sure. Yeah. Well, you know, we talk about life in the bonus round, and first of all, I'm very proud of all of those books. They're all autobiographical, and all the proceeds from I mean every single penny. These books are self-published, so there's no middleman here. Every single penny goes to animal rescue organizations all across the country, namely That's Best so awesome. Friends Animal Society. Yeah. Best Friends is our big one. Bruno came from Best Friends, and little Sammy, the Chihuahua, who's around here somewhere, also from Best Friends. So the books started out as journals that I wrote to my children when they were too young to, you know, understand or care about the things that the thoughts or feelings, experiences that I wanted to share with them. My oldest child is 19 years old now. So those journals began to stack up. And I started to realize when I was traveling with the Price is Right Live that if I wrote them in autobiographical form as opposed to journal form, these might make some stories that other people find entertaining or informational or inspirational. So Life in the Bonus Round was the first book, and I loved it. And we sell it at the Price is Right stage show. It does really well on the website, and it's a thrill to be able to make a difference in the lives of, you know, so many cats and dogs that are thrown into our nation's shelters, especially now coming out of COVID. You know, no one was, you know, people for a while there weren't even leaving their houses. And when they did, the last place they went was to a shelter to add a new pet to their family. So I like to think we've done some good over the years. The follow-up to Life in the Bonus Round is a book called The Host with the Most, Tales of a Tattooed Television Personality, which just kind of continues that autobiographical journey. And one reviewer said that the stories inside were as colorful as the ink that adorns my skin. So I took that as a nice but I enjoy these books. And when we travel with The Price is Right, you know, I enjoy coming off that stage and still having that adrenaline going through my body and being able to channel that right into writing, you know. So these are some projects of passion for me, and I'm glad that so many people have been able to enjoy them.
Awesome. Well, if you want to get a copy of Todd's book or you want to learn more about Todd, go to toddnewtononline.com. And his book is Life in the Bonus Round. And can you tell, I know there was like 6 secrets or something. Where am I here in my comments?
You're talking about The Choice Is Yours, the book I wrote, 6 Keys to Putting Your Best into Action. Yeah, I heard you say that at the beginning. Yeah, you know, listen, a lot of people, this is no secret, a lot of people go through bumps, and they usually hit in the 30s for whatever reason. You know, for some reason it's a transitional phase, and a lot of us look to the personal development world. You guys are very familiar with that world. You know, a lot of people in that world. And when I was writing these books, and I just happened to write The Choice Is Yours about the concepts that had worked for me in my career. And I made, you know, I took the word choice and I took each letter and I created an element. The C in choice, the first one is, first of all, you got to choose which direction you want your life to go, which I did, and it worked. The H in choice, you follow that choice with all of your heart. You got to put everything in it. You can't half-ass it. You can't go at 40 miles per hour. It's got to be all or nothing, or else you're going to get passed up. The O in choice stands for opportunities. Not only do you have to learn to seize opportunities for yourself, but you're going to find yourself going a lot further when you create opportunities for other people. Nobody goes it alone. There's no need to try to go it alone. Create an army, create a tribe, whatever you want to call it, but create opportunities for other people to succeed as well, and they'll do the same for you. Marisa, something you and I have talked about, instincts. That's what the I stands for. You got to learn to trust your instincts. We all have that inner voice, and I believe that inner voice is comprised of everything we've ever done. You know, it's our subconscious way of saying, look, for me, I've got 51 years of experience on this planet. Let's put that experience to work and follow these instincts and try and make the best choice for us at this point in time. The second C stands for community. My father always taught me, give back to the people that have given to you, whether it's your schools, if you're religious, give back to your church, give back to social organizations. That's why the books benefit these animal rescue societies. And finally, the E stands for being the exception. You always want to strive to be the loudest, the brightest, the rowdiest, the most fun to be around, you know, the tallest, the sexiest, the prettiest, the funniest, whatever the case may be. But you got to strive for that. It's like the great Casey Kasem used to say, you know, what did he say? Keep shooting for the moon, and if you land on a star, you've still won, or something, you know, along that. Or keep shooting for whatever Casey said. We love you, Casey. But strive to be the exception. If you strive to be the one that stands out, you will stand out. You might not be the only one, but you'll be one of the standouts. So I wrote this book, and it led to a lot of speaking engagements, which I thought were interesting and fun. And you know, in that personal development arena, it was nice to spend some time there. But you know, it's you know, hopefully all of that will pick back up, because I know, you know, it's very hard to inspire people via Zoom. You know, there's something about being on a stage and being able to jump off the stage and walk down and touch people and, you know, communicate and connect. I like that, and I miss that.
Yeah, we do too. I had a show called Connection Beyond Live, and we toured, and that got all shut down. And
yeah,
it'll
all be back.
There's nothing like it, but for now, this is what we have, and so we're entertaining this way. But, I really appreciate you coming on, Todd. I appreciate all of what you have to share. You seem so healthy, you seem so well-rounded and stable. It's nice to see.
Well, that's a nice compliment. Thank you.
I got to bring back on the seductress. She's been waiting backstage for a while. Hi, seductress. I got to
Hi, Marisa.
Well, I'll let you guys chat. Thank you guys for having me. And I'm going to keep watching and listening because I want to hear what's going on in that church over there with the seductress. And if you could address, thank you, Lori. That's a nice compliment. Very nice. But thank you guys for having me. I hope we can do this again.
Oh, absolutely. Well, everyone that comes on the lounge, they have such a good time. They want to come back. So
yeah.
Now you're around 3 mediums. So we're going to gang up on you, Todd.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I'll stay for that. I didn't know if you wanted me to get out of here. Yeah.
No. We want you to stay.
Okay. All right.
You've given to us your choice, your 6 things you do. Now we have to give back, right?
Yeah.
Well, create the opportunity.
What do you, how does it work? What do you see? What do you feel? Tell me.
Well, first I gotta transition from my interviewing mind to the other mind, but okay. I want to give the audience a chance if they want to ask Todd a question about his career, whatever. You guys can feel free to ask. Seductress, do you have any questions you want to ask Todd while I start tuning into the other side?
No, I was fascinated. I was listening to the acronym very closely. The intuition piece is definitely something that I try to respect daily and to kind of tune in to that, to make space for that, meditate. I try to meditate every morning and sort of get quiet and listen because left to my own devices, my man makes plans and God laughs, something like that. So, so it's very interesting.
Well, it's funny. Everybody has their favorite quotes when it comes to instincts. What did John Lennon say? Life is what happens when you're busy making plans, and But mine is, oh hey buddy, mine is he wanted to see the seductress.
He's cute.
My favorite quote is from Jimmy Buffett, who said, whatever he tells his crew before he sets sail on his boat, he's like, all right, remember, gang, trust your instincts. They're still there somewhere. And I'm like, what? If it's coming from an old salty sailor before he goes out to sea for God knows how long, then it's probably good enough for me,
Keeping him safe.
Yeah.
All right, I'm writing stuff down that I'm getting.
Uh-oh.
So let's see. All right, while I'm still writing stuff down, Coach has another question.
My voice sounds so good and relaxing. Vocal hygiene techniques.
Wow, that's a question.
That is a good question, Coach. I'm not a smoker, so I've never dealt with that. But I do have. I really do enjoy Hall's cough drops. I just gotta, I think some people chew gum a lot. I enjoy the way they make my throat feel. They're very soothing. So before I go on stage with Price is Right, or before I record one of my podcasts or something, I do just pop a Hall's in, and it keeps things lubricated and keeps me from drying out. I guess that would be, I think most people would probably say, well, lots of water. I probably don't drink enough water, but I do love those Halls.
All right. You're okay. I'm getting a lot of messages for you here, Todd. So
I'll take it.
Yeah. See, I have to go into a different channel here. And also we have so many mediums around that they're probably tuning in, and you guys could jump in with anything you have also. But I get stuff I get a lot of names. So if you don't understand the names, just write them down. You have a piece of paper and a pen?
Yeah. I'm gathering that up right now. Okay.
Now, the name was coming through the whole time you were here with me is the name Gary. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And this could be a living person. It doesn't have to be a past person.
Okay.
But there's going to be there's a significance. If you don't know this person now, this is somebody living in the business sense, going to provide you an amazing new opportunity. And it's going to be different than what you've ever done before. Okay. This might be an opportunity to actually be involved in a project from start to finish, like producing, directing, creating, start to finish. Okay. But the person's name is Gary with the G. Okay. Okay. Gary, and is very influential person, and he does not have a good personality. He is a very low key, humble. You won't know his emotion just by looking at him because he's just kind of dry.
Okay.
But he likes you, but you won't ever know it. You'll think he hates you. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 7 is very significant around that. So that could be the month of July, even coming up soon, or the 7th of a month. Also, did you ever have a left shoulder injury or like a rotator cuff injury? Okay. Is your up here hurting you at all?
No.
Okay. Just watch your shoulder then. You. Okay. Never mind. You pick it up her energy. Okay.
Maybe it's you.
Your left shoulder hurts?
You can have it if you want it. You can have it.
You have a rotator cuff injury, seductress?
Oh, it's terrible. I haven't been able to turn my head in 3.5 months. I mean, I do turn my head, but it's...
Well, you need to go get that looked at, okay? Yeah, you haven't been taking care of that.
Cross because she's in the box right next to me?
Probably. It's like Hollywood Squares, yeah. You got to cross.
Brady Bunch.
And everybody else has people who died around them too, so we don't even know. But also, I am getting it. I know you're not going to want to hear this, okay? But I see moving boxes around you.
Who, me?
Okay. Yes.
Oh.
So there might be an opportunity for. I don't know. I know you're not expecting it, but
listen, my love. If I'm moving, it's because I'm getting closer to the beach. I am not. If somebody wants to work with me, they can come here. But if I'll pack up and move and go get a nice little bungalow down in Key West, maybe Gary is going to sell me a bungalow in Key West.
I don't know. Maybe it's another location, but there are moving boxes all around you. So there's something big coming up here.
All right.
And somebody that's passed, female coming through, she keeps showing me her pinky finger. Okay, this is very significant. Almost, she had a numbness in her pinky finger, like there was arthritis only in the pinky finger. Okay, so if you don't know that now, that's fine. But the name Diane is coming up too. So I don't know if you know a Diane living or past.
No.
Okay, just write it down.
Okay.
And Gary. You know what? Gary's the big message.
Gary's alive. Yeah, Gary's alive. Okay.
Do you know Gary yet or no?
No.
You don't know Gary.
Yet.
Okay.
But I will be answering my phone on the 7th.
It doesn't have to be the 7th.
I will not let that go to voicemail. I will not.
No. But this woman that is coming through, she had a lot of trouble with sensation in her pinky finger. It's very, very strong. Diane. As far as arthritis. No, Diane and the arthritis lady aren't the same. Diane is the woman that's coming through is an older woman with the pinky finger situation. She's mentioned Diane. Diane is probably alive.
Okay.
And who is Constance? Do you know a Constance?
No.
Okay, write all these names down. Okay. Constance is past. Okay. So this could even be somebody that you're close to who had a because that's a weird name.
Why did you make that face with Constance? Like what came through? You're like, who is Constance? I'm getting a very difficult personality with this person coming in. And I'm also getting the name Edward as well. Eddie or Edward. Is he alive or passed?
I can't tell with him if he's alive or passed, but it could even be the last name Edwards as well.
So are these people that are trying to contact me and they haven't been able to because I haven't been in the presence of a medium or like what do they want?
The person that's coming through is the older lady with the pinky finger situation.
Okay.
And she is showing me a chest situation and showing me fluid in the chest. So not so much heart, but more of a
lungs or something.
Lungs, yeah, and fluid in like a COPD or something like the chest and the heart fluid around the heart or fluid in the chest. Do you understand any of this?
No, but she's
Okay.
she's warning. She's telling you to warn me about that. Like, be aware of that, or
No, she is telling you to look out for Gary, and that opportunity is going to be something that's going to. It's a path that you need to go on that you wouldn't normally go on.
oh, okay,
It's something that you wouldn't even. If somebody came to you with it, you'd say no right away.
got it.
But
Okay.
this is part of what she's saying, and it involves a move. It involves this guy Gary, and this woman Constance is passed, and she might not be connected to you, but somebody very close to you if you don't know who this is. But she has an issue with the will, with the estate, stuff with the big family issues with the people around her.
She's not getting any of that. I don't know who she is, but she's not getting any of that.
No, you have to deliver this message. This message is very important. You have to deliver this message because this family issue has to be settled within the family.
Oh, it's my family?
No. If you don't have the constants, it could be somebody very close to you who has the constants. You need to deliver the message.
Involved in somebody else's.
Because nobody else would have gotten the message.
I try to mind my own business, Marissa. Now you got me getting involved in somebody else's will. Don't you have any attractive living women coming through that are my age that are trying to get in touch with me? Why would,
if they're dead, why would you want to be around them?
No, I said living. There's got to be somebody. Isn't there
Well,
somebody?
if they're not coming around, they're dead.
Do you know, Todd, do you know a Cynthia?
And I'm getting a Paul. Cynthia.
Maybe these people have the wrong Todd. Could they have me mistaken with like Paul Newman or?
No.
When you get off the stream, your mind is so like right now literal. It's very like in interview mode. When you get off, you have to write all this stuff. Then you put the pieces together.
I've got Diane, Constance, Gary, Edward. Now I got Paul and Cynthia. Tell me more about the Paul. I did have I had a great uncle Paul.
So there was a Paul message. There's a Paul name, and he's talking about tickling or ticklish. Somebody who's really ticklish, and that somebody in your family would know what that meant. And that he's showing me a butterfly and popcorn. So just write it down because somebody's gonna go, oh yeah, Uncle Paulie, we used to blah blah blah. So
popcorn and butterflies. Good Lord.
Just a tattoo or something's got a butterfly.
Oh yeah,
I've got a tattoo of everything.
No. This is a situation. They're mentioning something with a foot tattoo right on the front of your foot. Oh, yeah. Something went wrong with it, or you were going to get something, and something went wrong with the foot tattoo, or you decided
about a tattoo.
The foot tattoo.
On my foot, I've got the whammy from Press Your Luck. You know, no whammy.
Yeah, we just talked about. But there's something about a foot. The foot tattoo was not supposed to happen, but then you changed your mind, or something about the foot tattoo.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Well, obviously both of my feet are tattooed, but one of them was done at an illegal shop. It was done in Boston before Boston legalized tattoo parlors. So, I mean, maybe that's it. You know, I mean, you weren't supposed to get a tattoo in an illegal, but I did anyway. That could be.
Yeah. And do you know a Danny?
Living or dead?
Dan.
Oh, they're all dead, right?
No.
Oh,
no. There's
Danny.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know a Danny. Yeah.
Who's Danny to you? Like, what's his connection to you?
He was a cameraman on a couple of the projects I worked on.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
Does he have heart issues or health issues?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I'm getting a feeling they're saying something to make
he's
sure
on
his blood.
He's on his second wife, and she's considerably younger. So usually guys with heart issues don't do that. Those two things don't mix.
Oh my God. Well, the message to give to him, you got to call him up.
Yeah.
And you got to tell him he's got to get his blood work checked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm serious. This is not. Something's going to happen, and then you're going to be like, "Oh, I should have said that."
My neighbor's door and say I have to take a look at their will.
Can you write down one more?
What?
And one more name for me. It's Maura or Maureen. One more name. Just write it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maura or Maureen.
You got to come on another time after you put this all together, and then we will be able to follow up with you, because sometimes you can't put it together for about 2 weeks or so. It's not like a psychic.
Right.
Yeah.
You can call later.
Yeah. No, this is much better than psychics. So
yeah, we're not predicting your future.
Right. But so there's like, is anyone like, I was very, very close to both of my grandmothers. But is there any chance, like I can't specifically request them to come through, right? No.
So let me ask you, is one of your grandmothers, does she have the arthritis in the one hand with the pinky finger? And was there like a fluid in the heart or lung, like the chest area with the breathing, with the fluid, the fluid?
You know, when she passed naturally of old age, sadly. And, you know, when that happens, I think there's probably some of the fluid in the lungs type of thing, but the pinky isn't of significance.
What
like
about,
I would never match those two things together.
But was that her bet? Did she have like congestive heart failure?
That might have, I mean, that might have been the cause.
Did she go like that? She keeps going like this. I don't know what she's trying to tell me.
I don't know what that is.
About the pinky. And do you know a Bert?
Living or no?
Either one, living or past.
Yes, I know a Bert.
Who's Bert to you?
He's a producer that I've worked for and with a couple of times.
Are you planning to get in touch with him anytime soon? Have you talked to him?
I have not. I haven't talked to him since before COVID.
Okay, because I'm getting the sense that the person coming through, I feel this is one of your grandmothers, but I'm trying to figure out which one it is.
Yeah.
But this person is specifically telling me there was fluid that got in her chest. Like there's fluid in her chest. So when she would breathe toward the end, there was a lot of, you could hear the fluid.
Well, I was at the age where I, like, if she was struggling, my mother would have shielded me from that. You know what I mean? Like when we went in to say goodbye to her, my brother and I, it was probably, you know, at one of her finest moments before things went really, really bad. So I wouldn't have been made aware of that.
She's laughing and saying, you need a new pair of jeans. So I don't know what this is about.
I don't know.
Did you just rip a pair of your jeans recently, or did
I live in Arizona?
happen?
I haven't worn jeans in 6 years.
Okay. Like jean shorts? I don't know. Jean something.
Shorts? No, I don't
the
know.
D name coming through.
Yeah.
A what?
A D.
The Diane? Diane?
Dolores, Doris.
What does it look like when they come through? Like, what do you see?
I see the woman.
I hear
her.
Yeah, I see her.
And I just have a quick thing. I just want to take a stab at this because I sort of pictured you maybe as a young child with a grandfather in a garage with tools. Pretty general, but that's literally what I saw.
Yeah, there was that. You know, we did that. Yeah. More of a yeah, we did that.
Who's Margaret?
I don't know.
Margaret or Marge?
A lot of names. I get a lot of names, and
not a lot of names. Yeah,
I get a lot of names, and they'll point. Like I can see them pointing to parts on them.
Yeah,
like your dad's friend. He just kept showing me. Your dad kept saying lower leg, right side, and
yeah.
Your mom with the stroke.
Why do they want to share that? Like, why do they want to talk about
validation of who they are so that you know it's them?
Oh.
Yeah, and this person, the woman that's coming through, she's now pointing to her hip. She's saying almost like her walk, her gait was a little bit off, even towards like she had a little bit of trouble with her walking or her hip. So she had like kind of like she would look at you straight, but be laughing on the inside, kind of like she could make these dry jokes. and you wouldn't know she was kidding, but she would pretend she wasn't kidding. She would like kind of mess with people like that, and inside she'd be laughing, almost like would kind of bust on you a little bit.
Yeah.
But do you know a Richard? Rick or Richard, and this is a living person that you'd be around.
I'm like starting at the inner circle and going out. Whenever
it should be the first person that comes to mind, not who you want it to be. It should be when I say a name, who comes to your mind?
Richard. No,
write everything down, because you're going to ask the mom and your family, and you're going to go, and they're going to go, oh yeah, of course that's so.
Yeah.
So I feel like the woman that's coming through was connected to a Richard, Rick, or last name Richardson, but I get a definite Richard connected to the woman that's passed.
Okay.
All
right. Got it.
And I'm also getting the name like a BEA, like a Beatrice or Betty as well.
Oh, these are a lot of old people names.
Yeah, and this is someone that's passed that's around this woman, also standing next to this woman. And I feel like it's a BEA, like a BEA.
It's like Beatrice and Margaret. And
Bert is not a common name, though, and he's alive.
Yeah.
You know him.
Yeah. And Constance.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I'm getting the last name Newman as well.
I'm getting Irish. Who's so Irish? Irish. Ireland Irish. There's an Are you Irish?
No.
Somebody Irish.
Write down the last name Newman.
Write it all down.
Newman.
But yeah, Margaret's very significant. Constance is very significant. Richard or Rick is connected to Richard, not Rick. Richard is connected to the woman that's coming through, which I believe is your grandmother.
Huh.
And she's mentioning the Gary who's living, who you're supposed to be connected to, is supposed to take you into a whole different area with your career, mentioning the move, the whole, and watch your shoulder. I mean, I am feeling watch your shoulder.
I think that's you, Carrie. Watch your shoulder.
No.
That's all I've been watching. It's the only thing. It's the only channel.
Yeah. The message is, that's the message. The message, so they come through the validation. They talk about how they pass. They kind of give their personality. They show little things. Ask somebody in your family about the pinky with the person that passed.
Okay,
Very
I have that written down, pinky. Okay.
And a fruitcake mold. Important.
Old.
Yeah, this
Also old, yes.
somebody kept like a fruitcake mold from like somebody that passed as well.
Oof.
So
it's probably in that will I'm going to take a look at.
No, Constance is not connected to you. It's connected to somebody very close to you that you're going to say, hey, I went on this show. These mediums were there. This one said something about a Constance. That message is like, you know how you say you have to give back? So you're getting a message. You have to give a message. This is the message you have to give, is for the Constance.
Got it.
And they have to resolve their family disputes, or she's not going to be at rest.
Right. Okay.
Between the siblings.
That's a lot of pressure on me, though, to be the one to have to.
Just tell them to call me. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I want you to take that information.
I've got it all right here.
It's not like a psychic reading. It takes a little while to process and for it to kind of come together. You'll probably get off the call. You'll go make some popcorn and you'll be like, oh, yeah, okay. That's how it happens.
Got it.
And then you could come back on and you could another time and you could say, hey, I figured this all out. Okay, what did they want to tell me? And then we could get into the deeper message.
I love it. Thank you, ladies. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, this is great. And thank you to everybody, the nice people in your chat. You got a great active community there. And we'll definitely do this again. I would love to.
Awesome. Maybe the next time you're going to read us.
Oh, yeah.
She's a good teacher. She's got the goods.
I'm not going to read you. I'm just going to give you the phone number of this pissed off family that I just discussed the grandfather's estate.
See, and that's a tip for people starting out. Most of the stuff that I told you didn't really resonate, but I'm confident. I know that it will. So like somebody starting out or people in chat be like, oh no, it doesn't make, no, to me, I don't take that to mean that it's not valid. I know it's valid.
Right.
So it doesn't, if you're new and you're just starting out in the intuitive world or the mediumship world, a lot of people get caught up when the person doesn't validate it right away. But with mediumship, it's a puzzle piece. You have to kind of give it to the person as it's delivered. It's not your job to really interpret it. It's your job to give it as it's directed by the spirit. It's not psychic. It doesn't come chronological. It doesn't come and make sense. And it's the person's job to kind of, that's all our job is to kind of give you the impressions, give you the names, give you the information, and take whatever language we're used to knowing it in. Like a piece, like a birthday cake that's not cut on average means to me that the birthday didn't happen yet. And a birthday cake that is cut means it already happened. So, but maybe to them, it means something else. But on average, I get symbols that usually mean certain things from doing it so long.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me at all that you don't know exactly what I'm talking about yet, but you will. I'm confident in that.
I'm confident too, and you'll be the first one I let know.
Cool. All right. Well, we have a community for all of our guests that come back, and I'll email you about that, and we all kind of connect in Slack. So I don't know if you've ever used Slack. So we all kind of connect there, and you can decide if you want to come back on again.
Awesome, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Thanks everybody in the chat. Thanks for sticking around. And we will see you guys then. Seductress, I know it wasn't a real crazy show for you tonight, and you kind of were in the background, but we are just happy you're here.
No. Oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Trilled.
You're trilled. Awesome.
I don't think that's I can't even say the city. Is that Scranton?
Well, it's no truth. It's like true.
It's
like
true. But we can say true. Trilled.
Yeah, through. Yeah, trilled. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 of them. We'll take the 3 of them. Let's go down and get a coffee and a donut.
That's right.
Hey, do you have the remote for the TV? Would you like a battery for that remote?
Take the
Get
dog
me a battery.
for a whack.
Hey, did you call and get the dog for a walk and bucket the ball? Let's take the dog. Where's that battery? Hey, do you watch TV or film?
Film. Oh my gosh.
Hannah or no? What
Hannah?
Hannah or no? There's somebody. If you drive around these parts enough, you'll see the car with the license plate that says Hannah or no. There is a car, a vanity plate.
Perfect. I wish I had that one. I'm not from here though, so I can't have that vanity plate.
Oh, you're enough of screen. You're enough.
It's like 60-40.
60-40 split. You're more here than you are
than anywhere, honestly. Honestly. Oh my God.
Well, I just want to just brighten your day with a little smile. I hope I was able to do that.
Oh, you always do. Yes. Yes. I wanted to. Well, I was going to mention when we were walking through Lilydale, and I might be exaggerating a little bit where you're just like giving messages to people.
I did that. Did I do that?
You did that to a couple people, but it was really sweet because this older gentleman was walking with his daughter and he was really touched. We were leaving the stump.
Yeah. How come
we have a stump in Lilydale?
Yes. Yes. The land of the mediums. And they didn't like me up there too much because I read very differently. Some of them did, but they're like, hey, watch out for the other ones that are real political up here. They might not want you around because you don't read like the rest of them do.
Oh no.
Like some of the old ones.
What is
it's different.
It's very
different. It's very different.
It's changed a lot over the years. It's always an influx of like new energy. So, and then a lot of the people that read up there are in their like apprenticeship. They're giving it a shot, and they have their mentors maybe there, and it's interesting because I remember the weekend that we went, there were some girls up there that were just getting started. I can't do it on YouTube. I can't do it, but
can I do it?
No, you can do it. No. I thought you were going to come out with a.
No, you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do? Green. Now I have a box of crayons here. You understand? Do you understand the box of crayons? And when I
You
pull
can't.
it out,
You can't.
when I pull it out, it's
my
an
parents are
emerald
watching.
green crayon. It's an
My
emerald
family is
green.
watching. Don't.
Emerald.
Do
They
you
won't know what I'm
understand?
talking about. Do you understand? Am I here with you in spirit? Do you understand? Thank you, Spirit. I am pulling out of the box an emerald green crayon. Do you understand?
So we gotta stop.
Hear me.
We can't do this. We can't.
No, it's just we've had
But
this
then you
joke
go
for what,
back.
15 years.
A very long
She's
time.
great.
But then you go back in like 5 or 10 years or whatever, because I don't see them. I go home to visit my family. Like I'm not always up at the stump getting readings and stuff. But but and now they're like legitimately like giving readings, and the people are like, yeah. But I remember when she was pulling that stinking Crayola crayon out of that box over and over and over again.
It was the same
always
message.
green. It was always green. But she's okay now.
Oh, no, she was very nice. She was a very nice lady. And I mean, the outfits, everything, the little John Lennon glasses. I mean, she was just, I obsessed over this medium. I just loved her.
There were like two. There was Sammy Hagar, who's not alive anymore. God bless his soul. And then an emerald green.
Emerald.
Green.
And will you allow me to serve spirit? Remember that? There's a.
I love it. I have to go there.
Ma'am in the black top there. Ma'am in the black. Can I come to you, ma'am? Can I come to you? Ma'am, can I come to you? Ma'am?
Yes.
Will you?
Please.
Do you allow me to serve spirit?
No, can I enter your vibration?
Can I enter your vibration?
Please
That just sounds so bad.
No.
That just sounds so bad.
I love it. I have to go there a couple times a year and just get myself grounded because the energy is amazing. It
got weird there for a couple years, but normally.
Consider who we were traveling with. We were a tornado.
Oh my God. But the emerald green, but there were some other ones. There were some other ones that
gosh.
we.
Debbie's
like, what are you guys like? What's wrong with you guys?
No. I understand what's going on. And I'm laughing because I know we have each had situations where there's something that's just so stinking funny because it sticks in your mind. I get it.
Well, we were traveling. It was a group of 4 of us, and we're like when the 4 of us get together, we're like the kids in class that get detention.
Trouble. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With her sugar, don't give her sugar. You will absolutely get in trouble.
So like there were some idiosyncrasies that were really getting a lot of mileage. And 15 years later, it's still funny.
We have like 2 proofs. Pancakes and
See, we have a whole other list of things, proofs and pancakes.
There's
so
we'll
have to go through all the memories.
Talk about that now. You guys go ahead.
I have to go actually. We're like way over time, but I'm glad we had a little roundup, and I'd love to have the both of you back on again for some shop talk and making mediumship fun. Because we all have to make it fun. It's too much of a serious job.
I know.
God bless you.
We will hope that because you can tell he's very focused on what he's doing. He's not thinking this way. He's always thinking, okay, well, if I take the outer circle of people I know, and then the inner circle, and then very analytical. So when he goes, he has to see how it works. So.
And I forgot to tell him, like the Irish thing, it could be like a March 17th connection. Like it could be not necessarily that you're Irish, but like when I get symbols, like I'll get a flag, like I'll get an American flag. I'm like, okay, July or independent. So I'm thinking like Irish, maybe a March 17th birthday, something. But yeah, he's very analytical and he takes it right at face value. So I'm hoping he comes back like, Marisa, I was amazed and dazed.
Back 20 years ago, I would need that. I don't need that now. I would need that validation. You know what I mean? That's why we're not throwing stuff into the air. I could throw stuff in the air because I know it'll stick somehow. All right, I gotta go. So thanks, guys. It was fun. I liked the party after the party. This was a lot of fun for me. Thank you for being here, Seductress, the Antique Medium. Thank you for all of you for being here. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Toodaloos.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye. Have a great night, guys. Bye.